made it back from Trail Hero and we got lots of stuff to clean today. Jess has already turned the heaters on. It's no more nice weather.
What's the temperature outside?
It's pretty chilly. You can see our colorful leaves changing on the arch. I got lots of yard work to do today and cleaning things. Coffee time first. It's that time again. Lots and lots of yard work to catch up on. Starting to look like a yard again. Almost done. Jess is still up there working on YouTube junk. Lots of mail showed up while we were gone. Got the new plate. Got some lingerie Soma wear. And we got this nice letter from Ken Jostin. He came by, Cars and Coffee, and must have appreciated everything it says. He's a very nice guy. Thank you, Ken, for showing up, and thank you for the nice letter. Now I'm gonna mount this. Oh yeah, Coop pink. Gotta clean these cars up and stuff, but I think we'll wait till tomorrow to do that. Got yard work to do at the other house. She's looking pretty good though. Lots of cleaning and putting things away. I just found another package on the porch from Fireball Tool. Who is it from?
Well, the return address on here, there's Jason Marburger, Fireball Tool, Santa Fe Springs, California.
Well, he sent me these, some kind of a square. I've never seen them, so I'm not sure exactly how they work. I'm gonna have to look them up, but a few different sizes. Man, whoever you are, thank you. And yeah, reach out, maybe tell me how to use them.
Yeah, shoot us a message. I've had a handful of people recently send messages through our website, and of course then also just comments on YouTube, you know, saying they want to send some sort of a care package or some tools that they like to use. So yeah, if this was one of you, please get back in touch with us again. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Can't wait to use them. Well, I did all the hard work. She does the stuff that makes it grow so I have to work. Ain't that a bunch of BS? We left for just a week. Her roses bloomed. Our nice little arch changed colors while we were gone. Look how beautiful this thing is.
Creeper.
Yeah, the old Virginia creeper.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Absolutely love this. It's growing so nice, and dang it. Can't believe it's that time already.
Yep, means our anniversary is coming.
Oh yeah, next week, baby.
Yep.
Can't wait to celebrate that. Don't you get me wet. Oh.
Oops. That went further than I thought. You know how that goes sometimes.
Oh yeah, whatever, huh? He's already got all of her Halloween decorations out and everything.
Not even all of them. I have a couple blankets and pillows.
Oh boy.
We got a lot more to get out, but I can't get to it.
Yeah. Something got into her plant here. We can never figure out what's getting in here. I don't know if it's the squirrels or what, but she actually had a camera out here at one point and we never got anything on the camera. But they messed up our basil. You're gonna have to make me a basilistic drink. She's working me out. Thanks to Leah.
Yeah.
Thanks for working me out.
Don't thank me. You're gonna have to thank Leah. I've been slacking the last couple months.
So it's been a busy morning already on the phone. Jess got me worked out. We had a little coffee, and I just been on the phone. I got news from Josh from FTA. He finally got a chance to look at my computer and pull all the logs on it from Crandon, and turns out I'm gonna have to get me a dry sump. Unfortunately, the all the corners, the left-hand corners, are pretty deep, and you know, you're just pulling G's there, and he noticed that we would get down to 5 pounds in the corners, and it would come up as soon as we pull off the corners and stuff. And the corner, you know, when I would look down at it, the gauge, when I can actually see it, the oil pressure looked good. But as we got going on, you know, I could tell something happened, and I started looking at them. It's hard to look at them in the corners because you're busy trying not to collect anyone else and do your own driving thing. So turns out like maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm gonna try and get the engine down to Roberts. We'll tear it apart, see if there's anything salvageable, and start looking at a dry sump. I hate that crap, but I want to finish a race, so we're gonna have to adapt and overcome, they call it. I'm gonna get all my lawn junk. I was the lawn boy yesterday. I told Jess, I said, we need a damn lawn boy, and she goes, what are you talking about? I got one. And damn her, she does, but I need one. So I'm gonna get the junk unloaded, start moving some stuff around. And then I had Cody Bender call me. They got one of them electric Land Cruisers or something, and I committed myself to building a bumper for it. Not sure what I'm getting into. I know the bumper part's easy, but it's electric, so they're gonna come and unhook some junk and drop it off. So I got a busy week, and I gotta get on Zeb's truck. I'm gonna need Donnie to come up this weekend and help me do some stuff and start tearing things apart. Hang on while we get to work. This might be the biggest tractor I have, LOL. Oh boy. Cold-blooded. Yeah. I got the first one clean. Now time to clean this one. Made a quick run up to the old Riley's Auto Parts and picked up one of them turbo tube replacement. GM discontinued that tube, and Scott got online and said, hey, O'Reilly's stocks it. So thank goodness they actually had it there, and it's a little bit longer than the normal one, so you can actually get an extra clamp on it if you wanted to. So now let's go home and see what the hell. Might just have to wait till in the morning to do it so it's not so hot. Jess is wanting to go with the family over to the pumpkin patch. Every year we go over there and we pick out some pumpkins and take some family photographs and have some pizza. So that's what's up next. Alright, I lied. Quick bath for the old truck. It was pretty nasty. We're here at the pumpkin patch with my pumpkin.
The annual pumpkin picking.
My pumpkin hunter. My little photographer. I didn't know you brought your camera. What's up, Kanga?
Yeah, I don't know.
T.O.
How
are you? That little princess.
You're so nice.
Hey. You got a
We need to get our
boat? It's not even full yet. Come on. Where's our pumpkins at, huh?
More.
She's got the biggins.
I wish she'd put her hands on the pumpkins like in that other picture.
Are you like the babies, Em?
Do you want to touch the baby?
Oh, she's wearing the same shirt that he's wearing, but hers is tan.
I keep saying, everybody, it's golden hour.
Okay, well.
We better lock in, folks.
Yeah. Yep. I really did have to kind of crawl up here, so wherever I'll need to be positioned next. Finally get someone over to the side.
Try to get one where the kids are happy.
That's very cute. Okay, next.
Cody showed up this morning with the Toyota. We're gonna build a front bumper for. And this thing's electric. Not sure why anyone wants an electric vehicle, but It is electric. So everybody meet Cody. Cody is a local up here, Cody Bender. He works over at Mountain Motorsports. He disconnected the battery. Now we're disconnecting. So this is a hybrid. It's got an engine and battery power, I guess. So we're disconnecting that stuff so that I can work on it. Do the front bumper and stuff. Pulling all the plastic off. We got our line on here where he wants the bumper. We're gonna basically, it's gonna look like a pre-runner style bumper. A tube comes across there and then it'll have a UHMW, like a very thin valance. And some Baja Designs on top of that. So we got this off. We're pulling the little sensors off so we can reuse them. Cody's over there tearing the rest of the stuff out of the way. Do you want to take this light out? Yeah, like unplug it, or are we gonna use the wiring for?
Unplug it. I'll use that wiring for the
Okay. Now I'll do the other side. You can kind of see the look we're going for. And Cody, where are we gonna start trimming at?
So cutting these horns off, and we can use these factory holes right here to mount those up.
Okay. And then we're gonna come up at an angle to a tube mount, is what I'm thinking from some pictures that they showed us. And go from there. Looking good. Everybody meet Josh.
What's up, guys?
He's the guy from Mountain Motorsports. Okay, Cody and Josh took off back to work, left me with my new project. And the first thing I'm gonna do is get the old gas axe out and cut them horns off. And then I'll go in and trim them up with the cutoff wheel after the face of it's out of the way. Start by tying these up out of the way just so we don't have to deal with them throughout the day. get this all tied up. Let's go over here. I think this will be better. Do this side. And then we'll go underneath. We're gonna go ahead and pull this skid plate off down here. Get this out of the way. I'm not sure if we'll use it, probably not. We'll probably incorporate aluminum into all this down here. A real tool. Hang on. All right. 3/8 drive. A little better. Oh yeah. So that's just gonna clean it up a little bit, I feel like, and then we'll make the skid plate where it will be 2-piece and kind of go underneath here. That's just some real thin sheet metal, but I think it's important, you know, for the drafting of the condenser and stuff to force air through here, and then it'll kind of also cool everything. So we'll get that back on there. Now we'll probably pull these tow hooks off. And we'll put something else back in place of these if we don't use these again. Always nice to have something just in case of an emergency. But right now they're in our way. So just kind of removing stuff so we can see the overall picture. And we're gonna go ahead and pop this plastic stuff off of here. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut this bottom cross member because it's not really doing much. So we'll go ahead and get it out of the way. And we'll put something back in its place. So I'll just take the cutoff wheel. It'd be easiest. I would get the torch in there, but we got some, you know, the plastic on the radiator, so I think it's gonna be a lot cleaner to use the cutoff wheel. Okay, let's see if I can cut this without getting sprayed too bad. And I think I'm gonna need a bigger wheel to get all the way through there in one clean shot. So hang on. Hopefully this is big enough. Yeah, I think that's gonna work out. Maybe not. Maybe I need bigger yet. Okay, you know what they say, bigger's better. I don't like playing with this big stuff. Oh yeah. Nice. Now we'll go to this side. that. I'll just trim the rest of it off. Then we'll just go in and sand it when we're all done. Sander. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make the bumper bracket integrate into that somehow, and I'll cut this off when I figure out that part of it. Go from there. Okay, we got all that cleaned off. Now I'm going to cut this off right here on this line, and I'll cap this, and then I can make my own bumper bracket to hold, and I'll probably even take the outside of this off so that, and I'll trim this up so I can make a nice plate that goes flat to the frame so you don't notice none of this junk, because the valance is going to be down here, but you'll still see a lot of this. So we'll try and clean it up and make it look like that frame is all trick and flows right into the bumper. And we're just going to have to be very careful not to get into anything going through. I don't think my disc is big enough to get through the frame. I'm probably going to have to cut halfway through and then trim that off. And I would just grab my torch, but like I said, there's some plastic on the radiator and I don't want to take a chance of screwing anything up. So we'll just do this. Very tricky. You got to watch the rotation of this, you know, which way you cut in and stuff, because it'll jump and grab and get into something. So pull this plastic plug out. I'm gonna go ahead and tie this back, this hose, just so I don't get into it. We'll just take some zip ties probably and see how that works out. Stupid gloves. You can tell I hate wearing gloves. I hate wearing eye protection. Hell, I hate wearing pants. Okay, I think that's gonna work out good. And I'll have to sand that straight just because of the way that it started cutting. Okay, I went an extra little bit and clamped a piece of aluminum up here so that my disc can't get through. And I'm putting an extra heavy duty glove on because I went to a bigger wheel. We're up to like a 7-inch now. So wish me luck. Like that, it gets into it. I might have to get my torch out and just get the rest of that right there because this is not big enough to get through there, as you can see, and I don't want to get into anything. I'll take a chance and now I'll sand that straight. It's always scary working around stuff that can get real expensive, especially when it's not your own and you can't just cry about it. You have to get your wallet open and then everybody's crying. Okay, now I've gone and cut along this piece right here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean all this up, cut this off. You can see where I've cut this, and I'm gonna cut these out of here. And then down here, I'm gonna weld in a piece of plate that Frenches in and kind of comes out for the bumper, the angle the bumper's gonna be, and that'll be welded, and then my bumper will slide right on that and bolt through it. I'll weld nuts in it, so it's very easy to install and give it a nice look. And you can kind of see I'm just kind of cutting this off, and then I'll sand it down smooth. It's just easier than getting my torch out again. So I'll sand these welds off now. Okay, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna trim right along the bottom of this, and we might take it up higher later, but I think we're gonna be good just going to there because that tube is gonna cover that. And then that'll give us a nice line to trim the inner plastic down at an angle so that it just looks real open and robust. And then we'll trim this line off. A lot nicer. Check that out. And we got the inner one trimmed out. And I'll make a piece that catches it to kind of keep it from being loose or whatever. Once I get the other side done, we'll start building caps and mounts for our bumper and figure out our perch. She's starting to come together. This side had the windshield washer bottle, so I left the inner part of the fender well so that it doesn't get mud packed up on it. And you won't notice it once we put the valance on the front. So, looking pretty clean. I'm liking it. It's actually a good looking vehicle. Next, I'm gonna start by making a 3/16 cap. You can see how thin this frame rail is. It's not even 1/8 inch. But I'm gonna go ahead and cap it with 3/16 just to give it a nice blunt edge. And then we'll come in off the side of this and build the piece that comes up that we'll mount to. And I'm gonna box it all in when I'm all done. You'll kind of see just to make it look nice, and then the bumper will slide over it and bolt right on. I've got this piece right here marked out. So we'll trim it up. like so. Okay, I got my piece made. I got a nice little V all the way around so that I can leave the weld on there. Some of it we might sand for clearance, but anyways. Very nice, then we'll just start piecing that together. Okay, we got a cap on it. Now I'm gonna take and sand the face of this off and we'll make this side cap. We'll have to figure out where the bumper's going to be before I make that. That way I make it the perfect shape, hopefully. Well, Jess brought me some kind of wrap. It's pretty good looking for my lunch. Thanks for lunch, dear.
You're welcome.
Nice day out.
Candles I got, Kennedy.
She got Kennedy a cupcake stand and some candles. Show me the candles.
Oh, the candles I just carried back in the house.
Oh, but she said this thing didn't come with no instructions. She goes, I guess I'll just have to
Look at the picture. But I still am confused. The picture doesn't have any balls in it.
That's how I put all my stuff together, is just by looking at pictures.
I'm serious. What the heck?
She is very good. She's a plumber. She's a what else? An electrician. She's done some electrical. Fixed some AC stuff before.
I'm a dog vet also.
Oh yeah, she's a vet. Is that because you work on me?
Yeah. You're an animal. Is this right? Yep.
Yep, she's pretty smart. I got lucky. Oh, very cute little candles. Tomorrow's Kennedy's 17th birthday. I gotta get up at 3 and go to the valley to take my motor apart, but I should be able to make it back in time for the birthday party. I don't want to miss out on the cupcakes, if you know what I mean.
You're not going to make the volleyball today, though, are you?
No. I gotta work, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Okay, next I'm trying to figure out how much I want this to stick out. So I've got my light. There's gonna be a tube in front of this tube that they want. I'm not sure exactly how I'm doing it yet, but anyways, that light needs to stick out far enough to do that. And I also need to make this transition right here, the bend where it looks like it's made for it. This has a slight radius to the front. I do not have a roll die, and they said just make it straight. So what I want to do is try and make this bend where it looks like it's perfect. So the tube will probably stick out in front of this portion right here. I've got another little piece of a bend here, and what I'm going to do is kind of slide it that way and figure out. You see what I'm talking about? Now that looks pretty, as long as there's not a gap and it looks nice and finished from the front. It doesn't matter if the tube is perfectly split. Like this portion, what we want is this transition to look clean and follow it. So this was just a bend that I happened to have, so that's gonna get me close, and then this will come out here, and I'm not sure yet. We'll figure this out. Now that I've determined where I want that tube to be, I'm gonna take some of this and make a pattern. It comes down to the frame, and I'll kind of finish it out once I get it figured out. I'm almost out of this stuff. I need to get another sheet, but I think I got enough to make a pattern, and then once I get a pattern made, it can be a little short, I can ad lib, you know? We'll start by taking the tube stack, get us a radius, and then we'll cut that out on the bandsaw. Let's see what she looks like. I've got this up here. That's following there, so I'm gonna add on because my piece wasn't long enough. That's the bottom, that's the top, so that'll come from that right there down to that line, and then I'll add 4.5 inches, and then I'll go from this bottom line back up to the tube, and we'll see what that looks like, and then that'll give us a pattern. We'll see if it fits both sides. Here's my pattern. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it out, and we'll see how it fits side to side and go from there. Okay, I feel like I got a pretty solid template. These will be my 2 holes, and then there's 2 that come in from the bottom that I'll use. That should be plenty of good separation. So I just gotta make 3 more of these, and then we can figure out how to get them nuts welded in the frame and bolted. And before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and change my turbo hose. I gotta get up at 3 in the morning and head to the valley to tear that engine apart and see what we got left in that thing that's worth using, LOL. So let's go fix my truck real quick. Okay, for starters, for anyone interested, I know this happens to a lot of people. This is my first time, but Gates 26265. It's nice to carry a spare if you have a Chevy turbo diesel. And this thing's a little bit longer than the stock one, allowing it to get onto the flat surface of the tube. It's also going to allow me to get an extra clamp on the tube. I'll use the stock clamp right there that comes off the engine, and then I'll use the 2 clamps that they gave me for the tube, if they'll fit. You can see this hose is definitely longer. I trimmed a little bit on this side to make it the same length right here, so that because there's quite a few little indentions there. Hopefully it still fits, but you can see on that tube, them indentions right there, that's what was keeping it from staying on there with the shorter one with just a hose clamp. You know, you couldn't get a good crimp on it. So this being longer is gonna allow me to get this, and of course this is gonna crimp it a lot better. So hopefully it works. So if that comes off, I'm gonna cry like a little schoolgirl. It was kind of a bear to get on there. I had to get some soapy water, and I put it inside the hose, because with 3 ribs, I don't know if you can see in here, see the indentions? They're pretty deep. You can only put it on so far. So having 3, it already pushed the tube away, but I did get the 2 clamps on there and it worked. So I think it's gonna be good. And then I used the original clamp up there because there's a nice little nipple on there and everything. I'm not sure if that's how it was intended to be used, but that's how I did it. Okay, I got one side with the holes in it. I just put 1/8" holes in it for now so I could transfer them. All the plates are made. I put them together and sanded them to make them perfect together. And now I just gotta drill some holes and hope that this plate transfers to the other side and comes out perfect, which it should. You can see these 2 big holes down here. This is where the tow hooks were mounted. So the bottom part of my bumper will come down and bolt into them 2. And if he wants, he can actually put them hooks back on, but he might want something a little cleaner looking, but they will be able to go back on there. Here's my stack of plates. Now that I got this 1/8" hole and mounted on one side, I'm gonna go ahead and drill all of them together, and then we'll open them up later. But it's easier to get a small hole true than it is a big hole. Used a 1/4" bolt through my holes to fixture one end, and then I put a piece of 2x3 on the other. This is perfect 3 inches. I've got my piece broke, so that's gonna help me get it spotted up so that it's perfectly square because the holes are true and it's sitting on the bench flat. That, my friend, is how you fixture it. I got a perfect V to weld. Now I just gotta stick it in there again or bolt it up and make sure the top piece clears, and I'll cut it. Coming together. Got the top plate on. Got the 2 bolt holes in it. I just drilled and tapped the frame through my little holes that I had just to hold this up for now. That way everything's nice and true. I used the 1/4 inch all thread to align it. Now I got front of these all perfect. And I just got to put the top plate on this one, and then we'll weld them all up. Kind of start getting that tube going. I got the tube cut already. I'll probably screw with that when I get back from the valley. I still got to load up stuff and get ready to go, but it's starting to get pretty late. Here's what they look like all done up. Got them all sanded and everything. There's still a lot more work to do to them, but I need to build the rest of it, so I'll go ahead and get these on there. Go from there. It's about time to call it a night. I still got to load my motor, but you can kind of see that needs to be barrel sanded just a little bit to let that drop in there. It's going to look pretty nice when it's all done. Get a cool skid plate on it with some stainless mesh and all that cool stuff, but for the most part, you can kind of see what it's going to look like. Pretty cool looking Toyota. I think once it's done, it's gonna be really cool. Kind of fun doing stuff I haven't done before. Hooked up and ready to go. Got the motor loaded up. This moon is just insane this week. Loving it. Well, it's 10 o'clock. It's been a long day. I feel like I didn't get much done, but it's just a lot of work, a lot of detail. We'll get back after it on Thursday. Got a long day tomorrow morning. I'm gonna get up at 3 in the morning, head to the valley. Then I gotta get back for Ken's birthday party. She's turning 17.